Alright, so here's Camp Grizzly. I played as 3 counselors, Sherry, and there's the cards she got. So each character is going to get 2 of the survival cards, which will help your character. There's Tracy. She's a scrappy virgin. The permanent cards get played immediately, and they just affect the game. And you can see, like, she gets to fight even without weapons. And I also played as Jody. And he got desensitized, so he can't be horrified. And that stick together card, which you can use at any time. So in Camp Grizzly, you're playing counselors being stalked by a bear-masked killer. Basically, the counselors will go first, taking their turns. They're going to move first. You don't have to move. Their movement is based on their wounds also, so as they get wounded, they move slower, except for the very last wound they can take, which, you know, gives them like a burst of adrenaline, and they get faster. So the goal is to move around the board, collecting those objective tokens. Also, at the end of your movement, you can see here you draw a cabin card. The cabin cards can be good or bad. You can find weapons. You can find items, equipment that help you. Or you can find things like that. Like I found that area was on fire. It's just like a plot twist. They have some plot twists that affect the game. And a lot of them seem actually pretty bad. For you, anyway. So here Jody moves into a square that's on fire. Sherry's moving along. So basically you're trying to get those objective tokens. And the objectives, hopefully you'll find items that match the finale cards. And you can see on the board those red arrows. Those are, if you have the 3 objective items you need, you can start the finale. And that's where you try to escape or kill Otis, the bad guy. You can see in the cards up top, the van, the boat, the ranger tower, and the barn each have 3 items as objectives. So like, for example, the van has keys, gasoline, and a battery. And you're going to find those on those objective tokens. And the objective tokens are placed randomly. Those are those question marks. And the issue with that is there's more objective tokens than you're going to place based on the setup. So you may not actually get any combination of items you can use to start a finale. But in that case, you're just, once all the objectives are revealed, you can put all new objectives out, just like you're setting up again. And with that, you'll definitely find, you know, the objective items you need to escape. There, Sherry found a first aid station. You can use that to heal wounds. And you can see Otis there, the red figure, will stalk you. Now his stats raise, and I guess they can drop too, as you play. At the bottom, the body count actually affects his stats. You can see there it's starting at 1, so he gets a stalk plus 1. Which stalk is, you know, how far he can move at the end of each round. And he's just going to basically follow the nearest counselor. And there's, you know, things you can do if it's a tie on who's closer. So you always know who he's going after. And there you see the nature trails. The nature trails are interesting because you're basically going through the forest. And at night probably too. So you can get lost. So when you try to go through a nature trail, you're actually going to roll a d6. And depending on what you roll, a 1, you get lost. So you actually end up in the woods up top there. If you roll a 5 or 6, you can actually just continue on the trail like normal. Or you can actually just kind of get turned around and end up back where you were at, so you kind of lose your movement. Here, there's NPCs called cameos. This is like Dr. Loomis in Halloween. So he came out, through one of the cabin cards, and he's looking for Otis to try to kill him. But if your counselors cross paths with him, he actually can hurt you. And here you can see I actually picked up a camper. Don. The campers can help you. Like that particular one, he could run an item to another character for me if I roll right. If not, he actually gets caught by Otis and dies. And there's Jody finding keys. The keys unlock all those little lock tokens. You basically can't enter that square until you have keys. So at the beginning of the game, there were keys out there that Sherry ended up getting. The key tokens are always going to be out and revealed. But then there's also an objective key token, which, lets that character open the locks too. So that's helpful. You're kind of stuck, with limited range. Like if you don't have the keys, if the other character has the keys. But you can trade back and forth with players too. And here I drew an Otis card. So if you draw the Otis Strikes cards like that, he'll just move right to your location, just like a horror movie, just pop up out of nowhere, which is actually pretty awesome. And then you can fight Otis. Now, if you don't have any way to fight, like if you don't have any items, and like she has that scrappy card, if you don't, then you immediately panic. When you panic, you take wounds based on Otis's damage, and then you move your panic rating, no matter what your movement is. So there, Tracy panicked and ran 3 squares from him. So Sherry found the crank, which is needed for the ranger tower or the boat. So there I have keys, the crank, and Tracy has the rope. So my thought was, well, hell, we can start the boat objective. So eventually here I actually tried to move everybody towards the boat. And you can see that at that left arrow, bottom left. But Otis kept attacking, and he generally won all the fights. This is the only fight I think I won with Sherry, because she had the crowbar. Yeah, so she actually beat him. And speeding it up here, he kind of cornered Tracy over there, which sucked. Her movement was low because she was wounded, and I needed to go through that nature trail to escape him. And there I rolled a 4, so I couldn't even move. I lost my movement. And she only had 1 point, so she gets cornered and starts taking a lot of damage. But it's neat because, see here, I drew an 8-track player with Jody. So I end up using that right there to distract him. So when Otis strikes, later I actually have him strike the 8-track player, thinking somebody's there. So it has ways to kind of mitigate like where he goes. Like Tracy, I actually used it earlier too in the game. She's like the scream queen. You can attempt to like lure him by screaming your head off, basically. So I did that earlier to pull Otis away from one of the other counselors who was in a dangerous spot. Yeah, my plan didn't work. Trying to get to the boat, I kind of got cornered, and then those 2 NPCs. The one guy is somebody's boyfriend, and he's trying to steal the keys. And here he kills Jody. So when the counselor dies, you're kind of out of the game. So that's one bad thing about it. If you have a lower player count, I definitely think, just from playing it and reading about it, I would play like 2 counselors each. That way you're not totally out of the game. If you die, like, Jody's body stays there, so his items were there. I was hoping to get Tracy down there to the Ranger Tower finale, and then have Sherry pick up Jody's items so we could just start that finale and escape. Here I use that camera to try to force him to re-roll, maybe thinking he'll roll a 1 and I'll win the fight. Nope. So, unfortunately, here's where Tracy dies too. Yep. And your body count's going to go up, so his stock will go up. Now he also kills the camper that you have, so the little camper that Tracy was protecting dies too, unfortunately. There she goes. There's the camper. So the body count goes up again. And if it reaches 13, you basically lose, so Otis is just too powerful. There's no hope. So, what did I think of this game? Man, the theme really comes through in this game. You know, I'm a sucker for horror games, and especially I love slasher movies, so this game really mirrors that to me. And, you know, the company is called Ameritrash Games, so I don't think they're hiding the fact that it's not the most amazingly designed game, certainly. Like, you're going to just move around, collect things, you know, and the cards and the dice will really dictate what happens to you. You know, you're just trying to stay away from Otis, collect those objectives, and, you know, get to your finale, where, again, dice will affect everything. So here, yeah, he killed the 2 NPCs also. Now here I just said, you know what, to hell with it. I gotta get those items off of Jody's corpse. So I just went for it. Figured she had a crowbar. She might be able to beat him. Get to those and then get to the Ranger Tower finale. Fortunately, Otis wins the fight. So, you know, I really enjoyed this game. It's not the best mechanically, obviously. But I feel it's quick enough where, you know, being subjected to dice rolls and card draws is not the worst thing ever. And it's got that random element like a slasher movie. Here, unfortunately, Sherry bites it, and that's the end of the game. But I do recommend this game. It's fun, especially if you like the theme. If you're looking for a great mechanic game, I wouldn't get it. But for me, I give it a 7. I really enjoyed it, and I hope to play it more.